Hold on to your butts, folks, because we're diving headfirst into the wild, wacky world of Borderlands. This ain't your grandma's sci-fi flick. This is a full-blown, action-packed, laugh-out-loud rollercoaster ride based on the beloved video game series. Director Eli Roth, the mastermind behind horror flicks like Hostel, takes the reins of this chaotic adventure. He brings the dangerous planet of Pandora to life on the big screen. Get ready for a visual feast of desolate wastelands, bizarre creatures, and enough firepower to make a dictator blush. Borderlands throws you right into the action. It doesn't waste any time with boring backstories. It's a chaotic mix of eccentric characters, improbable alliances, and a whole lot of shooting. Now, I'm not a gamer myself, I'm more of a Clue kind of guy. But even I could appreciate the sheer spectacle of it all. Explosions rock the screen, bullets fly faster than a toupee in a hurricane, and the one-liners come thick and fast. If you're looking for a thought-provoking, Oscar-baiting drama, you've come to the wrong place. Borderlands is the cinematic equivalent of a sugar rush. It's loud, it's colourful, and it's over the top in all the best ways. So buckle up, grab your popcorn, and prepare for a wild ride on the wild side of Pandora. Let's talk about this cast, folks. Borderlands boasts a lineup of Hollywood heavy hitters that would make even the most jaded casting director drool. This isn't just a case of slapping a famous face on a poster and calling it a day. Each actor brings their A-game to this intergalactic circus. First up, we've got the incomparable Cate Blanchett as Lilith. Yes, Cate Blanchett. The two-time Oscar winner trades her period costumes for tattoos and a whole lot of attitude as the siren with a mysterious past. Trust me, she kicks more ass than a room full of ninjas. Then there's Kevin Hart, the pint-sized comedic powerhouse, as the trigger-happy mercenary Roland. Let's be real, folks, Kevin Hart could make reading the phone book hilarious, but here he gets to flex his action hero muscles. And you know what? He totally pulls it off. And let's not forget the legendary Jamie Lee Curtis as the eccentric scientist Dr. Tannis. She's got more gadgets than Batman and a wit sharper than a tack. With a cast like this, Borderlands is worth watching for the performances alone. Cate Blanchett as Lilith is a stroke of casting genius. She's got the intensity, the physicality, and the sheer screen presence to carry a film like this. Lilith is a siren, a woman with extraordinary powers, and Blanchett embodies the role with a fierce determination that's impossible to ignore. Lilith is haunted by a troubled past. She's drawn back to Pandora to find a missing girl. She's not your typical damsel in distress, though. She's a force of nature, capable of unleashing devastating energy blasts. Blanchett brings a depth and complexity to the role that elevates it beyond your typical action hero. We see flashes of vulnerability beneath Lilith's tough exterior. She's a woman battling inner demons while facing down intergalactic threats. Blanchett navigates these emotional complexities with nuance. She makes Lilith a character you root for, even when she's blasting her way through hordes of enemies. Now let's talk about the real star of the show, Claptrap. This sarcastic, one-wheeled robot is a fan favorite from the video game, and he steals every scene he's in. Voiced by the always hilarious Jack Black, Claptrap is a constant source of comic relief. He's like a walking, talking stand-up routine. Claptrap is a walking contradiction, a cowardly robot who thinks he's the bravest thing on two wheels, a know-it-all with a knack for getting things wrong. He's constantly spouting off pop culture references and bad jokes. But beneath that metallic exterior, there's a surprising amount of heart. Claptrap yearns for friendship and acceptance. He just goes about it in the most awkward ways possible. Jack Black infuses Claptrap with his trademark energy and comedic timing. He turns what could have been an annoying sidekick into a genuinely lovable character. Section 5. Action and mayhem, a visual feast for the senses. Borderlands is a visual smorgasbord. From the opening scene to the final showdown, the movie is a non-stop barrage of stunning visuals and mind-blowing action sequences. The desolate landscapes of Pandora are brought to life with breathtaking detail. You can practically feel the grit and grime of this lawless world. The filmmakers have perfectly captured the game's signature cel-shaded art style. It's like stepping inside a comic book. But it's the action sequences where Borderlands really shines. We're talking about explosions that will rattle your teeth, gunfights choreographed with balletic precision, and creatures that would make Ridley Scott proud. Borderlands doesn't skimp on the violence, but it's never gratuitous. It's all part of the film's over-the-top, tongue-in-cheek tone. The fight scenes are like something out of a John Woo movie. Just be prepared for a whole lot of slow-motion bullet time. Section 6. The story, a madcap adventure with hits and misses. Now, let's talk about the story. Borderlands is a wild ride, but it's not without its bumps along the way. The plot is a bit all over the place, like a hyperactive puppy chasing its tail. We've got Lilith searching for a missing girl, Roland trying to protect his crew, and a whole bunch of other characters with their own agendas. It's a lot to keep track of. At times it feels like the movie is more concerned with cramming in as many video game references as possible than crafting a cohesive narrative. But even when the plot gets a little too convoluted for its own good, the sheer energy and enthusiasm of the cast keep things moving. And there are moments of genuine emotion sprinkled throughout the chaos. It's just a shame that the script doesn't fully capitalize on the potential of its characters and their relationships. Section 7. Humour from slapstick to satire. One thing's for sure, Borderlands is not afraid to make fun of itself. The humour is a delightful mix of slapstick, satire and pop culture references. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy meets Deadpool with a dash of Mad Max thrown in for good measure. One minute you'll be laughing at Claptrap's latest inappropriate joke. The next you'll be marvelling at the sheer absurdity of it all. The humour is certainly not for everyone. It's juvenile, irreverent and occasionally downright offensive. But if you're a fan of the video game's sense of humour, you'll feel right at home. The humour in Borderlands is a welcome respite from the film's more action-packed moments. It's a reminder that even in a world as dangerous and unpredictable as Pandora, there's still room for a good laugh. Section 8, a faithful adaptation. Gearbox fans weigh in. So, the big question is, does Borderlands live up to the hype? Well, that depends on who you ask. Fans of the video game series might be divided. On the one hand, the movie perfectly captures the look and feel of the games. The characters look like they walked straight out of the video game, and the world of Pandora is rendered in all its gritty glory. But some fans might feel like the movie doesn't quite capture the spirit of the source material. The games are known for their dark humour, their complex characters, and their sprawling storylines. The movie streamlines things a bit, sacrificing some of that depth for the sake of a more action-packed experience. Ultimately, whether or not you consider Borderlands a faithful adaptation is a matter of personal preference. Section 9. Verdict. Does Borderlands hit the mark? So, is Borderlands a good movie? That's a tough one. It's not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. The plot is messy, the pacing is uneven, and the humour won't be for everyone. But there's a certain undeniable charm to its chaotic energy. It's a movie that's not afraid to embrace its own absurdity. And sometimes that's all you need for a fun night at the movies. If you're looking for a thought-provoking, Oscar-worthy masterpiece, you're better off looking elsewhere. But if you're in the mood for a fun, action-packed, visually stunning escape from reality, Borderlands might just be the ticket. Section 10. Final thoughts, a wild ride on Pandora. Borderlands is a wild, wacky and thoroughly entertaining ride from start to finish. It's a movie that throws everything at the wall and sees what sticks. And you know what? It mostly works. The cast is game, the action is spectacular, and the humour is refreshingly irreverent. Is it a perfect movie? No. But it is a hell of a lot of fun. And sometimes that's all that matters. So grab your friends, grab some popcorn, and get ready to experience the mayhem of Pandora for yourself. You won't regret it. Just maybe don't think too hard about the plot.